Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to participate in the UNESCO Second Artificial Intelligence for Information Accessibility Conference. Thanks for the invitation and for the organizers of such an important event. My name is Mohammed El-Guindy. I'm a cybersecurity expert at the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, and also a cybercrime program director at the Faculty of Law, British University in Egypt. My presentation will try to shed the light on the malicious use of AI and the implications on national security. Before I go into the main issue, I would like to start with all the question asked by legendary Alan Turing in his paper in 1950s. Turing asked this question: can machines think? Although it's been discussed by many prominent scholars, I think the answer is not an easy one, especially with the disruptive world we live in. As any psychologist knows, intelligence is a very controversial topic, making the classification of a man-made machine as an intelligent even harder. So in terms of raw calculation power, even computers of mid-50s could beat human counterparts. That's why scientists started to classify the AI power as weak or narrow AI, strong general AI, super AI, or the self-aware AI. We are still working around the advancement in the narrow AI. Today we are witnessing also a very disruptive world because of the processing power, connectivity, and data. Systems are not simple anymore, thanks to the dynamical systems and algorithm design that are central to the cutting-edge theoretical and practical advances in data science. When it comes to national security, law, and society, AI can be used in many good things, such as investigating complicated crimes and understanding criminal patterns. Algorithms also can be used to predict crimes in certain geographic areas based on data-driven systems. Many counterterrorism systems are now based on AI algorithms, autonomous security systems, for example, and cybersecurity software and hardware. During our capacity building programs delivered by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, we were able to use AI-based tools and systems to investigate and analyze various crimes, such as human trafficking, terrorism, money laundering, social media analytics, and open source tools were also very valuable to combat and investigate such crimes with AI scripts. Since AI is a dual-use technology, I would like to introduce you to this wonderful book by Pedro Domingos called The Master Algorithm. I will quote a very simple statement to understand what we are heading to. Pedro said that armed with machine learning, a manager becomes a super manager, a scientist a super scientist, an engineer a super engineer. The future belongs to those who understand at a very deep level how to combine their unique expertise with what algorithms do best. And I can add to Pedro that we are heading to super criminals, so get ready to super criminals. AI can be used maliciously in three different ways: cybersecurity, physical security, and also political security. When it comes to cybersecurity, I assure you that we will not be able to defeat a machine without a machine. We are now heading to what we can call AI-powered cyber attacks, automated social engineering attacks, automated vulnerability discovery systems, and so on. I will give you an example on how malware can turn AI into a weapon. For example, IBM Research has developed an attack tool powered by artificial intelligence called DeepLocker. It's a kind of malware that's activated when reaching a specific victim. This is a kind of malware that's based on AI algorithm. But before we go to the scenario of AI-based algorithm, in this malware. Let's see how the traditional targeting attack is working. In traditional attacks, as you can see, ransomware can exploit a bug to infect systems, then encrypt the data and asks for a ransom. However, in an AI-powered scenario, let's say an AI-powered ransomware is hidden in a video conferencing software distributed and downloaded by millions of people around the world. The scenario is once users launch the app, it captures faces and sends snapshots to the embedded AI system. And the app will behave normally on most users except when the target face is matched. The malicious payload will work and the computer will be infected, as you can see from this slide. Let's see another dangerous example. An AI can learn voice pattern, for example, and they can be trained on a specific voice print. Criminals can use the AI system to generate special words with learned voice print. Criminals can call target victims, for example, on a phone and ask for very sensitive information. And there you are, mission accomplished. And one of the examples is this case. This is a real case where criminals used artificial intelligence-based software to impersonate a chief executive voice and demanding for a fraudulent transfer of a large sum of money. And this is very dangerous and a real case published on the internet. Another dangerous scenario when breaching physical security using robots, for example. In this scenario, let's say that governments using bots for cleaning, for example. The cleaning bots are cleaning in the morning and barked at the end of the day at the parking lot. Let's say that terrorists can smuggle new bot to the parking, and the smuggled bot started regularly cleaning in the next day morning. The smuggling bot detected the minister, for example, by visual detection. The intruder robot stopped cleaning and headed directly to the minister, and an explosive device hidden inside this robot was triggered by proximity, killing the target and wounded nearby staff members. This is not a, maybe not a fictional scenario, but this is written in a research called The Malicious Use of AI, published on the internet also by a group of scientists, was thinking how AI can maliciously used in such physical attacks like this. So when it comes to political security issues, which I think not all of us are becoming aware of, which is called the computational propaganda. The computational propaganda is using social media, for example, and also autonomous agents and big data to manipulate public opinion. This is a very large research started in 2017 by University of Oxford, with a group of scientists, and it's very well known. So let's ask a few questions related to this kind of AI and political security. What if social bot has the ability to use machine learning to know everything about you, especially your emotion, and it can interact with voice, text, and even video, and in different languages? What if social bot is able to accurately modify video and audio of political leader or public figure to make them say and do things that support its narrative? So if you're saying this is not a fictional scenario, so when we remember deepfakes and deepfake app or a fake app, this was very popular on the internet. Deepfakes uses machine learning and AI to allow anyone to put anyone else's face on another body, and this is, as I mentioned, is very well known on the internet. So what if social bots that understand our emotions can deceive us with fake videos? We will not be able to tell if it's real or fake. So in this regards, I can refer to two very important initiatives. The first one is the one we are speaking about now, is the UNESCO initiative, the AI initiative by UNESCO, and also the AFAB program and Information Ethics program in the UNESCO, which is very important to address this kind of threats regarding AI. Also, I can refer to the IEEE initiative, the ethically aligned design principles and best practices for both users and developers. it's very important also to take a look at this initiative. My recommendations for this threats is I really hope that universities should implement information ethics, AI ethics, law, and cybersecurity in their curricula. And this is something where, really I'm trying to do in the British University in Egypt. We are now started our master's degree in cybercrime investigation, and we are implementing these kind of curricula in the master's degree, the AI ethics, and also the investigation ethics, and also things related to a new trend like machine learning and things like this, and the ethical perspective. Also, I hope that policymakers and the researchers need to understand the malicious use of AI. They need to understand these threats. They need to understand how to deal with these kind of threats. Also, regulations and best practices should be addressed with this dual-use technology such as AI. I will finish with a quote from the very important book about the human use of human beings, written by Norbert Wiener, Cybernetics and Society, which is very important book related to the connection between man and machine in the future. Norbert Wiener said that the world of the future will not be an ever more demanding struggle against the limitations of our intelligence. Not a comfortable hammock in which we can lie down to be waited upon by our robot slaves. I think this is, a very dangerous shift, and I think we all feel that we are going forward to this scenario. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope I will be in touch with you regarding anything related to the malicious use of AI. And thanks for the invitation again, and wish you all a very successful event.